Benny Bear and Ruby Rabbit and the case of the disappearing lanterns. The forest clearing was buzzing with excitement. Tonight was the summer festival, when glowing lanterns would be hung from every tree, lighting up the night with golden warmth. Ruby Rabbit hopped happily as she carried a basket of lanterns. This is going to be the brightest festival ever. Benny Bear helped hang them, carefully tying ropes to sturdy branches, just so long as none of them fall on my head. By evening, dozens of lanterns glowed softly in the trees, but just as the music started, Daisy Deer rushed over, her eyes wide. "Some of the lanterns are missing," she cried. "The ones along the northern path have vanished." The crowd gasped. Without the lanterns, half the festival would be left in darkness. "Don't worry," Ruby said, adjusting her scarf. "Benny and I will solve this." The first clue. They hurried to the northern path. Sure enough, only empty ropes dangled from the trees where lanterns had been. Benny spotted a trail of wax strips on the ground. "Looks like they were carried this way." Ruby's ears twitched. "Then let's follow." Into the woods. The trail led into the deeper forest, where shadows stretched long and the air grew cooler. They found a broken lantern near a stump. Ruby examined it. The candle's still warm. Whoever took them was here just moments ago. Benny pointed to paw prints in the dirt, small round ones. Not a deer, not a fox. These look like raccoon prints. They're lantern thieves. Sure enough, a little further on they found a group of young raccoons huddled in a circle. The missing lanterns were stacked around them, glowing brightly. One raccoon waved his paws nervously. "Oh, we didn't mean any harm." Ruby crossed her arms. "You took the festival lanterns." Another raccoon explained. "We just wanted our own light for a nighttime picnic. We didn't know they were so important." Benny knelt down kindly. "The lanterns are for everyone to share. The festival won't be complete without them." Making things right. The raccoon's ears drooped. "We're sorry. Can we help fix it?" Ruby smiled. "Of course you can. Let's carry them back together." So Benny lifted 2 lanterns at a time, Ruby balanced smaller ones in her basket, and the raccoons carried the rest. When they returned, the crowd cheered. The lanterns were re-hung, glowing brighter than ever. Festival fun. Daisy Deer thanked them warmly. "You saved the festival." The raccoons, eager to make amends, handed out fruit snacks at the feast. Soon everyone was dancing, laughing, and playing games under the golden lantern light. Benny and Ruby joined the circle dance, paws linked, their lanterns swaying gently above. Ruby whispered, "Mystery solved, lights restored." Benny grinned, "And a festival even brighter than before." Benny Bear and Ruby Rabbit and the Forest Sports Day. The meadow was buzzing with excitement. Today was the annual Forest Sports Day, where animals from every corner of Pinecone Forest gathered to race, jump, and play. Ruby Rabbit stretched her legs eagerly. "I can't wait. I'm going to win the hopping contest for sure." Benny Bear tugged at his headband nervously. "I'm better at cheering than competing." Ruby grinned. "Nonsense, you're strong and steady. You'll be great in the log lifting contest." Benny sighed but agreed. "All right, but only if you promise to save me a honey bun at the snack table." The first event, the hopping race. The announcer, Pip the squirrel, squeaked into his tiny megaphone. "On your marks, get set, hop." Ruby bounded forward like a spring, ears flying behind her. Daisy Deer and the Hedgehog twins tried their best, but Ruby soared ahead, clearing the finish line first. "Hooray!" the crowd cheered. Ruby beamed and bowed. "Thank you! Thank you!" Benny clapped loudly. "That's my teammate." The second event, log lifting. Next came the strength contest. A giant log lay in the middle of the meadow. Benny gulped. One by one, animals tried to lift it. The badger huffed, the fox strained, but no one managed more than a wobble. When it was Benny's turn, Ruby cheered, "You can do it, Benny." Benny took a deep breath, planted his paws firmly, and lifted with all his might. To everyone's surprise, the log rose into the air and rolled onto its side. the crowd roared. Benny blushed. Guess all that honey gives me strength. The team relay. The highlight of the day was the relay race. Teams had to run, hop, and balance an egg on a spoon before crossing the finish line. Ruby started with the running leg, dashing swiftly around the cones. She passed the baton to Benny, who waddled carefully with the egg balanced on a big spoon. "Don't drop it, Benny," Ruby called. Benny focused hard, tongue sticking out. He made it across without a crack. Finally, they sprinted side by side to the finish, crossing together with huge smiles. And a small mishap. Just as Pip was about to announce the winners, a sudden gust of wind knocked over the prize table. Ribbons and medals tumbled everywhere. "Oh no," Daisy cried. "The prizes are all mixed up." Ruby hopped to the rescue, gathering scattered ribbons, while Benny carefully untangled the medals. With everyone's help, the prize table was restored in minutes. "See?" Ruby said, brushing off her paws. "Another problem solved by teamwork." The awards ceremony. When the medals were handed out, Ruby received the gold for the hopping race. Benny earned the strength medal, and their team took silver in the relay. But then Pip raised his paws. "And the Special Spirit of Sports Day award goes to Benny and Ruby for their teamwork and kindness." The crowd clapped and cheered as Benny and Ruby accepted a shiny golden ribbon together. A sweet ending. As the sun set, the meadow filled with music, laughter, and the smell of berry pies. Ruby nibbled her honey bun while Benny stretched happily on the grass. "You know," he said, "Sports Day wasn't so bad after all." Ruby winked. "That's because we played together." And with medals around their necks and crumbs on their paws, they watched the lanterns glow, already dreaming of their next big adventure. Benny Bear and Ruby Rabbit and the riverboat ride. The sun sparkled on the winding river as Benny Bear and Ruby Rabbit arrived at the dock. A big wooden riverboat bobbed gently on the water, its paddle wheel creaking softly. Ruby hopped with excitement. "Today's the perfect day for a boat trip." Benny eyed the boat nervously. "As long as it doesn't tip over. I don't swim very well." Captain Otter, wearing a jaunty sailor's cap, greeted them. "Welcome aboard. Don't worry, Benny. This boat is as steady as they come." All aboard. They climbed onto the deck. Lanterns hung from the railings, and benches lined the sides. A group of animals, Daisy Deer, Pip the Squirrel, and even the Hedgehog twins were already aboard, chattering happily. With a toot of the whistle, the riverboat chugged away from the dock. The paddle wheel splashed and the boat glided smoothly down the river. Ruby leaned over the railing, ears flopping in the breeze. "Look at the fish jumping." Benny grinned as he spotted ducks paddling alongside. "All right, this is pretty nice." Trouble on the river. Halfway down the river, the boat gave a sudden lurch. Everyone wobbled. "What was that?" Benny gasped. Captain Otter frowned. "We've run into a sandbar. The paddle wheel is stuck." The passengers looked worried. Without moving, they'd never reach the picnic meadow downstream. Ruby tapped her chin. "Maybe we can help push the boat free." Benny blinked. "Push? A whole riverboat?" "Not by ourselves," Ruby said with a grin. "But if everyone works together." Working together. Captain Otter gave the plan. Some animals would rock the boat from side to side, while others pushed with long poles. Ruby hopped to the front, calling out the rhythm. 1, 2, push, 1, 2, push. Benny planted his big paws on a pole and heaved with all his strength. The Hedgehog twins bounced to rock the boat, and Daisy Deer leaned her weight on the side. At first nothing happened, then the boat gave a groan and shifted slightly. "Again," Ruby cried. 1, 2, push." With a mighty shove, the riverboat slid free from the sandbar and floated smoothly once more. Edictate, back on course. The animals cheered, and Captain Otter blew the whistle twice in celebration. "Well done, crew. Couldn't have done it without you." Benny puffed out his chest proudly. "Guess I'm stronger than I thought." Ruby winked. Told you adventures are more fun when we all pitch in. The picnic meadow. Soon they arrived at the wide meadow along the riverbank. Everyone hopped off the boat and spread out blankets for the picnic. Daisy Deer shared apple tarts, Pip handed out nut cookies, and Benny, of course, brought jars of honey. Ruby nibbled a carrot sandwich, ears twitching happily. What a perfect ending to a boat trip. Benny stretched on the grass, watching dragonflies dance above the river. And no one fell in. That's what I call success. What a starry ride home. As evening fell, lanterns lit the deck for the journey back. The river sparkled under the moonlight and the paddle wheels splashed in a steady rhythm. Ruby leaned against Benny, sighing contentedly. Another adventure solved, another memory made. Benny nodded, paws resting on the railing. And next time maybe we try a smaller boat, one with snacks built in. Ruby laughed as the boat chugged gently upstream, carrying them home under the stars.